reality, unfortunately, I do find myself putting myself in situations that make me feel sad again, or for instance, as somebody who like goes through anxiety a lot, sometimes I'll put myself in situations that you're like, why would you, as somebody who has anxiety, why would you do that? But it's because in a weird way, I feel where I grow a little, even if it's just a little bit.
I would say that that's healthy. Because it depends on the situation.
I suppose because
I don't think anxiety is bad.
Well, I'll do it with anxiety and I'll do it with my depression. So I don't think
that's a little bit different.
Yeah,
Depression is a little bit different. But
don't,
anxiety is a feeling. And it's exactly like sadness. Like sadness is a feeling. Depression is a medical condition.
Yeah, but
right?
so
an anxiety disorder is a medical condition. But just because you have anxiety doesn't mean you have a disorder. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You could also have a disorder. You could you could get diagnosed with an anxiety disorder.
Yeah.
That's fine, right? But like putting yourself in situations that give you anxiety is not the same as saying I have an anxiety disorder, therefore I can't do this. That's a very different conversation. If you put yourself in situations that make you uncomfortable, that is the only way that you will grow. And that is the only way that you will get better.
I feel like that's all cool and it's very true. And I think the reason why I feel like a lot of the things I do I shouldn't be doing as much is just because I have a kid. Because I feel like
that's fair. That's a kind of a different conversation.
Because I feel like even though it's true that like you're saying like anxiety, putting myself in a situation where I might not be as comfortable, which I have done, and I'm doing. There are times.
For reference, I'm not necessarily saying that every situation that gives you anxiety is the best situation.
Yeah.
They could be really bad. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that like if it makes you uncomfortable to go back to school, or if it makes you uncomfortable to go and take a class, or if it makes you uncomfortable to go and make that decision that you've always been curious about, that you like, it's going to make you uncomfortable. Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah. I don't necessarily mean like the anxiety you feel if like you decide to like do a lot of drugs one night. That's a very different type of situation.
No, that's not really, you know what I mean? I'm not really leaning towards that.
I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm just saying like I have to be really clear about that distinction about like discomfort is part of the process of getting somewhere new.
Yes.
I'm not saying somewhere better, even somewhere new. Even if it's in the same like lateral plane, even somewhere new, you have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions, right? Stagnation never brings anything, right? Consistency can bring something, but stagnation doesn't. Those are two different things.
And to me, like I always waver with the thought of like, am I doing a little too much? And constantly thinking of maybe I'm doing a little too much and I have a kid that I need to be looking out for. Or,
that's fair.
You know, and so as much as I would love to be able to one of these days just be like, oh, let my creativeness lead me towards where I need it to go, and let that be my form of serotonin, or let that be what's guiding me through the world and life or whatever. Can't do that because I have a child. And I have a child of which I'm solely financially supporting. So it's like, to me, that idea of like I want money is real. Like I want, like
100%,
and it's not, and I don't mean it in the sense of like how you say like you're the means to get you to where you want to go. I genuinely mean I want to be rich just so I don't have to feel like I can't support my child.
I guess so.
You know
I guess
what I
so.
mean?
That comes out of fear.
Yes, out of fear. 100% out of fear.
That desire comes out of fear. I look at it a different way.
Of course,
the goal is not me being rich. I have a fear of failing. Yeah. I have a fear of like not being received well. I have a fear of being a bad artist. I have a fear of being poor again. I have a fear of not being able to like do the things that I love to do. Yeah, 100%. But I feel like if I like being rich is not the solution to that for me. You know what I mean? I might one day be rich as a result of doing
everything
this.
You've done, yes.
It'll just be a byproduct of what I want to do.
Yeah.
It won't be the goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like other people do things to get rich. I'll get rich to do things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the difference is that if your goal is to be rich, that whatever thing you did to get there, you'll leave it alone and find another thing And like that. I will never leave the things that I want to do alone.
Yeah.
Just because of money.
Yeah.
I will let the money go just so that I can keep doing these things.
And
you know what I
it's
mean?
Crazy.
And I've shown and proved that a lot
you have.
in my life. Like
you really
when
have.
it comes to relationships, I've let people go because I'm just like, nah, I'm not giving that up.
Yeah.
No, hands down.
Yeah.
Even when they make good points, like you have nothing to show for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know I don't. Not right now.
Yeah.
Not right now. And you don't have to believe me that I'm going to have something to show for it. You don't have to stick by me when I do have something to show for it. But I'm committed to that.
Yeah.
And I'd rather not be committed to you. That's how much I'm
yes.
so invested in the things that I want to do. You know what I mean?
It's not,
money, tens of thousands of dollars. I'm like, go, bye.
Yeah, and to me,
you know,
I feel like maybe had I not had a child so young, I probably would have been in that boat and been because
that matters. Yeah,
because there was a lot of things that I envisioned doing that obviously did not include a child at the ages that I was hoping to do them in were around this time, around 23 years old, around the time I was in college and everything of that sorts. So since everything kind of got flipped over, it became to where I'm like, I want to make money to where I don't know how or care really much how it gets done, but I want to make money. I want to have equity. I want to have financial success and freedom, to be able to one of these days just be like, okay, my money's making my money. I want to be able to take my child to school.
Right.
Like I want to be able to make sure that I know for the rest of this year, my child won't ever have to worry about where her food's going to come from.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Or even just in the simplest ways of like, because there's been times even now where I will be like, I can't eat today because I got to feed my kid. Which is scary. It's like a scary, for a 23-year-old, that's kind of scary because you're doing it alone and you're like, oh shit. Like there'd literally be times where I'm like, fuck, I'm fucking hungry, but I don't have the means to buy more groceries, meaning I can only buy the things my kid likes because my kid is so like specific because of what she is or whatever, to where it's like, all right, cool, my she's not eating tonight. And it's just like, whatever. Right. And also, unfortunately for me now, it's the ego thing of not wanting to tell you, not wanting to tell mom, not wanting to tell dad, not wanting to tell nobody. You're
not alone there, because I did it for a long time. I didn't tell mom and dad. I didn't tell a lot of people a lot of things. Because
I was like, no, like I want to know that I'm doing this shit on my own. Yeah. If that means I'm starving tonight, I'm starving tonight.
Exactly.
Because
if that means I don't eat.
I mean, if I'm not eating tonight so my kid can eat and I don't have to ask my brother for a fucking slice of bread, I'm sorry, but I won't do it. Like, and it's
a little bit of pride there too.
It's slightly, I do think it's a bit of pride, but I also think that was something I didn't used to do. I was very reliant.
It's character development.
Yeah, I was very reliant on all of you guys to just kind of help me if I needed something.
One of the things that I remember specifically in like I'm the worst with self-help. I'm sorry, like I'm the worst with like if people ask me like, how do you do it? Because people have asked me, you know what I mean? Like, Juan, you always seem like you got it together. Like you always say, I'm the worst at giving people advice. I really am, because I feel like what people would consider my superpower is also my kind of like my Achilles heel at the same time, right? Like people have said your superpower is that you're very confident. Like I can't picture myself failing, even though I have a fear of failing. The fear comes from the fact that like you can't control luck. Yeah, that's the one factor that you can't control. So I might just get unlucky, right? You know, but there is nothing. There's zero doubt in my mind that I can't do what I want to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? That I'm not capable of doing it, or that I wouldn't be good at it. Like that is something that I don't necessarily struggle with in terms of like self-image and in terms of like being self-deprecative, deprecative or whatever. My self-deprecation and my self-destructiveness comes from pain, not from hypothetical situations. Yeah. You know what I mean? It still exists, and it could be very bad. I've succumbed to it a lot, but it doesn't come from those fear-based hypotheticals. It comes from like actual tangible, like that felt horrible. Yeah. And then I might like I might like spend months there.